Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is now fall and it is now officially spooky season. So I've been really wanting to do this video for a while and I'm really excited to do this because I have a lot of thriller mystery type books that I've been wanting to read, and I've been just saving them for whenever it was officially spooky season so I could read them and then review them and just get in that fall spooky mood. I am going to be reading thrillers or mystery thrillers for a week, and I have a few books that I'm just really excited to read and review and talk to you guys about because it is spooky season, and once again I want to be in a spooky mood. Hopefully I can have some good feedback for you guys. I'm really hoping that these books are good ones. I know they're by really great authors, some of them that I absolutely love, and so I've just been really anticipating this video. I'm sure there's a lot of other YouTubers right now who are going to be doing this type of video where they're reading thrillers because it's spooky season. What else are you supposed to read during spooky season? For the beginning of this video, I'm just going to take you along on a week with me, and we're gonna see what thriller mysteries that I can read. The first book that I'm thinking about reading is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I've heard great things about this book and this author, and I know there's a second one that I really want to get to eventually, so we'll see. It depending on how this one ends. I'm not sure. I know there's like a huge plot twist, but I'm not sure if this ends on like a cliffhanger or not, so we'll see. If it does, I might end up going and buying the second one, or if it doesn't and I can wait and I can put off the second book for a little bit, I might wait and just move on to some of the other ones I already have with me. I'm really looking forward to this one. I know it's just gonna really get me in the spooky mindset, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've never read a book by Frida McFadden, so I feel like this is going to be a really good one to start with and then sort of introduce me to all of the books that she's written. So we'll see. Let's dive on in. I just finished The Housemaid. I binged it tonight and I finished it. This book was so good. I'm trying to think about what kind of rating I would give this book, and I'm sitting at a 5 stars at the moment because this was so incredibly good. I can see why everyone raved about this book when it came out. Now I'm gonna be one of those people. From start to finish, it was amazing. Like the way the story was laid out, everything made sense. There were so many like little clues and like foreshadowing at the beginning of the book that obviously you wouldn't know what they meant or what it would later be towards the end, but it all made sense later, and I just really enjoyed it. I felt like it came full circle and it was just so incredibly good. I am gonna read the second one. I already know I'm planning on it. It doesn't really leave you in a cliffhanger. It does leave you with like a shocking twist at the end, but nothing to where I feel like I have to read the second book immediately. So I'll probably continue on with my other books that I need to read, but I definitely will be buying the second book very soon as I get the chance to go to Barnes & Noble, and I will be reading it. But I loved the characters. I felt like everything that I was questioning was answered. It felt like I was watching like a true crime documentary playing out. Everything that happened in this book is possible. Like I feel like it wasn't anything like so out there to where it couldn't actually happen. I think that's what made it so good, was because I know for a fact that everything that happened in this probably has happened to people in the world, or this could have been based off of someone. Like this could have been a true story. Now I'm kind of disappointed because I started with this one and it's a 5 star, and I'm gonna go into my other books and I'm gonna hope it lives up to the hype of this one. I should have saved this one for last this week. I wasn't thinking, but off to a great start. it's about 2 days later, and I have been reading Secrets Never Die by Vincent Ralph. I just wanted to give some quick updates and some thoughts on how this book is going. I am enjoying it, however, not as much as The Housemaid, which I knew was going to be the case. I knew that was going to happen, and I knew I should have saved that book for last, and I wasn't thinking. This one's good so far. It's very fast-paced. The chapters are super short, like they're only a couple pages long each chapter, and I feel like what's going on in the story, it's not high stakes, I guess, and I feel like I just expected these secrets that each person had to be more, I don't know, not life-threatening, but like more serious. It's just taking a weird turn that I didn't expect. I have like 100 pages left, so I'm almost done with this. I'm gonna continue reading this today, hopefully finish it, and then give my thoughts and what I rate it. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. It is good, and it does have that spooky vibe that I was looking for in like a thriller, and there are like thrilling elements in it. However, it's just not, I think, what I was fully expecting. Still a decent book, I would say. I would still recommend this author. I think his writing style is what attracts me to his books, and I do really enjoy his other books. And not that this one's bad. I feel bad saying that it's not my favorite. It's just not my favorite. I'm gonna continue reading today, and we'll see. Hopefully the ending makes up for it. That's what I'm hoping. It has been a week, and I finished my thrillers. I just have to say, I'm glad that I'm reading thrillers again. Like, I enjoy reading thrillers, especially during spooky season. I love that. But I actually did get spooked this week. I read some actually spooky books. One that ended up being more of a horror book than like a thriller mystery type book that I'm used to. I feel like most books that I read that I consider thrillers, I also put them under the mystery thriller category. So it's more like the thrilling elements or the thrilling aspects of the book are never too much that I can't like handle. But the last book that I read this week, it gave me some spooky vibes. So the first book I read this week was The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Absolutely loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. It was so incredibly good. The pacing, everything about this book and the way it was like laid out and the story, the way it just unfolded was amazing. There were so many elements early on in the book that were like foreshadowing what would happen later that obviously you don't understand in the moment, but once you got to the end, like the twist was outstanding. I loved every second of this book. I know there's a second book and I am planning on buying and reading that one hopefully sometime soon, but This one was great. I actually regretted reading this first in the week because it was so good and I really wanted to end the week on a 5-star, but you can never control that. So it was a great way to start my week and to get me ready for the rest of my mystery thrillers that I was planning on reading. The second book that I read this week was Secrets Never Die by Vincent Ralph. This one also was very good. I think I ended up giving this book, I think 3.5 stars for this one, but this was very fast paced. I know that sounds bad compared to The Housemaid, but that one just like blew me out of the water. Like I feel like when I read this one, I was expecting something similar to The Housemaid and it was just a different book, you know, it was a different story. So I wasn't fair of me to think that way of this book when I started it. But this one was very fast paced. It has very short chapters. So if you enjoy that, that's what made this book feel like it just flew by. And it was very interesting. So the main characters in this book, it was this group of friends who are in high school, and every single year on Halloween, they all go to this place called the Dark Place, which is just an abandoned hut out in the woods. And so they go at night on Halloween night. And so already it gave me like that spooky vibe. Like it felt like a fall book just from that alone, since it's set on Halloween. When they go there, they always tell their biggest secrets. They don't tell them to each other, so they don't actually know each other's secret or secrets that they're sharing, but they just speak it out loud in the hut and they go in one at a time. And this year, what was different, it starts right on Halloween night. So there's no like big build up to what ends up going wrong in this book. Like you're immediately in the middle of all of it, which I really enjoyed. I like that it got started very quickly. Someone in this story was blackmailing all of the people in this friend group. So I think there was I think there were 5 people in this friend group, and there's this person who is just terrorizing them, threatening to expose each of their secrets if they don't do certain things. And so this one, it did have a twist towards the end that I wasn't really expecting, and it went kind of in a direction that I also wasn't expecting, but it was still very good. It was not my favorite of Vincent Ralph's books that he's written, but it was still very fast paced. So if you're in the mood for that and something that's set in the fall time, then this is the perfect book for you. And the third and final book that I read was The Troop by Nick Cutter. This one is the one that actually kind of freaked me out. This was the final book I read this week, and the reason why it freaked me out, I don't know if it was the way the writing was, but it was so graphic. It was so descriptive and detailed that I could picture literally everything that was happening in this book. And it was just so gross, very gruesome in some parts. And there were some chapters in this book that were just very unsettling. I will say it had kind of a slower beginning, so getting into the story took a little bit, but once you were probably about 80 pages in, that's when the story picked up and it started like actually like stuff started happening, and it was more like high stakes, fast paced. You're trying to figure out, like, it's very survival of the fittest type stuff. But it was a very good book. I did like the way it was written, in the way that every chapter, like, you were getting glimpses of every single person in this book. So you got to see some of like what their thought process was and see like how people act under different stressful scenarios and how they respond to it. So it was about a group of, I think, 5 boys, and their scoutmaster, who are on this island. This man shows up in a boat and he's like super emaciated. He is talking weird. He's starving and he just keeps just like kind of acting crazy. And so the scoutmaster, he's actually a doctor. So he feels like he needs to take this guy in and kind of give him help. And so while they're trying to help this man, things start going wrong, and it turns out he's carrying a bioengineered virus. What was very freaky about this one, it was not like paranormal stuff. It was things that they were going through, and the way how fast this virus spread and the way it developed and just takes over a person was crazy. So if you're okay with like a true horror type book, then this one's for you. It was good. I just don't know what to rate it. I've never read a like legit horror book. I've never read like in the horror genre, so I don't really know. Since there are certain scenes, like I literally had to skim over certain scenes that happened in this book because it was so freaky and it really just unsettled me. I don't know what I would rate this. I did read it very quickly. Like, I read this within 2 days, I think. And if you took out the slow start, I feel like I would probably rate it 3.75 stars maybe. Whoever, if any of you have actually read this book, please let me know what you would rate it, because I honestly don't know. I just don't know enough about this genre, and hopefully I can change that throughout time. We'll see. But at the moment, it wasn't for me. I did immediately start reading a romance after I finished this book. I read it at night, and then I immediately picked up a romance because I needed something to like cleanse my brain from how scary this book was. And that is it for this video. I read thrillers for a week. These were just the 3 that I chose, but I have so many more that I'm wanting to read, and so many that I truly like love. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and just keep looking forward to every Tuesday. That's when I post new videos. I have a lot of fall content still coming out. I know it's still like mid-October at the moment, but I'm really enjoying these videos. These are some of my favorite that I've made so far. I just love fall. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Happy reading!